Liverpool, everybody. We are back to discuss the game against Southampton today. Obviously, Liverpool 4, Southampton nil. And I have Gerri and Mame here to talk with me today. Gerri, how you doing, man?
I'm good, bro. How you doing? You good?
Good, good, good. Yeah, really good after that, especially second half. Mame, how are you, man?
Same here. Good, like every weekend we play now.
Yep, yep. It's becoming one of those things, man. You kind of just feel like we'll get it done one way or another. Let's start with it, man. The lineup was pretty much the same until it came to midfield and the front three. Gerri, when you saw the lineup, was that something you were cool with, or is it just more so that's just kind of what we had to do in the first place? And then to see Ox getting consecutive games like this, what did you think of the lineup, man?
I mean, I'll give you my predicted lineup if you don't mind me. What I thought we were gonna start
Mm-hmm.
because there was quite a few things that we might have done because obviously we had more players coming back to full fitness and getting into the rhythm. So I was like, you know what? I thought that we play obviously Allison in the back four. In midfield, I said that we'd play Henderson, Wijnaldum and Keita, and I said that we play Salah, Firmino, and Chamberlain on the left. Well, that was my preferred lineup. But I also said that I'd like to see Fabinho play because we need to get him some rhythm before that Atletico Madrid game. And that's what Klopp did, and that's what I thought he might do in the end. But I thought that Keita could have probably started the game because if we're playing Fabinho and Henderson, I thought maybe you drop out Wijnaldum and bring in a Keita, and that's what I thought would have probably happened. I thought Keita would have started this match. He didn't. Um, I'm not really, you know, as I said, I'm not really. I wasn't shocked with the team with the lineup. I thought that anything that could happen, whether it was a Minamino starting, I was fully prepared for it. So it was a good team, and in the end, obviously, it worked out pretty well.
Yeah, Mame, same thoughts or anything different?
Well, actually, I thought that Origi would start,
Mm.
on the left and Ox in the middle. But yeah, I was glad to see Fab back, getting some rhythm and stuff. And yeah, you just can't, man. You just can't complain.
Yeah, Gary brought up the Naby, who I thought looked really good when he came on. Probably got an assist on one of his first possessions, touches of the ball. And it looks
Yeah,
like he's a guy that slowly but surely will be back in the lineup. You mentioned
of
Fabinho.
course.
I think he had been slightly rusty over the last few appearances he's made, which you can understand. He's been out for a while. I thought today he was much improved though, and kind of getting back to the Fabinho. But let's break the game down. Mommy, I'll stick with you. First half, man. Southampton were pretty impressive, and here lately they've been stacking some good points or some good results, I should say, lately. Kind of trying to turn their season around. Obviously, one of the pivotal moments I would say was when they got smacked 9-0, I think it was, from Leicester. They were able to later on in the season get back at Leicester and kind of get that revenge game. But since all that, they've been doing pretty well. So I expected them to give a bit of a fight today. But in the first half, I was very impressed by them. You?
Yeah, exactly. Actually, it's the same story with teams like Southampton. They come with play well in the first half. They press well. They put out they match out intensity. But when that happens in the first half, you just know that maybe 50th minutes or around 60 minutes, man, they just can't do it anymore. And that's how we beat most of the teams, because physically we're better, and of course the quality shows too at some, and I think the last few games against Southampton it was like that. They just give us the hard time the first half, and then we destroy them. So we obviously all knew that the game would end well for us, you
Mm.
know. So yeah, I never worried, you know. It was tough the first half, but I always knew that we would get our way
Yeah.
in this game. Yeah.
Gary, do you feel like we Gary still there?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Do you feel like we rode luck a bit in the first half? Obviously, there was a pass back there, but also there could have been a shot for a penalty for us. Um, you know, Southampton they pressed very very well. I was really impressed with the way they pressed it. It almost felt like they kind of run out of gas working that hard in the first half. And Liverpool's such an oil machine now that they can withstand these different plays and moments of teams who are enjoying their football a little bit, maybe having some chances. And I think the times that they turn us over, they will probably be kicking themselves, thinking, "Why didn't we take those chances?" But yeah, do you feel like we rode out luck in the first half? And I don't know, maybe if that was a better team, we could have maybe suffered.
Yeah, just first of all, I want to say that I didn't actually watch the match today. It's my first match I've missed, I think, since the 16-17 season. As I said before, we came live from Stoke. So, but I watched the extended highlights, and obviously that gives you not just highlights, but just everything, every little bit. And it was sort of the spell from the 40th minute to the 45th minute, where Danny Ings was getting in some really good positions, and the one that really sticks out is the one where he cuts in on his left foot. I think is it the one where Gomez takes too long?
Yeah,
And then I think Allison comes out and does really well. And Allison, how many saves did he make again today? Um, few good ones against West Ham. So yeah, I mean Danny Ings has a few good opportunities, especially that one. He had the chance to score, and had the chance in the first. But I felt like we dominated most of the ball anyway. It was just a few lapses of concentration. But Southampton were just, first 45. Obviously, they're coming out and feel energized on a decent run of form, and they're going to be. But second half, obviously, we've got to kick up the buck up the backsides from Klopp, and we just sort of took the game into control. Didn't really allow Southampton anything apart from that little moment where Southampton could have gone 1-0 up, which I did think was possibly a penalty. That was pretty clumsy from Fabinho. I'm sure you don't think, but yeah, in the end, obviously, got a kick off the arse, and that was enough for us. And Southampton obviously just couldn't live with the full 90 minutes of pressure from Liverpool.
yeah, Mame. I mean, I think the moment Gary's bringing up is the Fabinho foul on, or could have been foul on Ings, and I got to say, if that was on the other end, that was for us, I'd probably be calm for the same. So, but again, I mean, I think those things like that, yes, the game, I guess, could always change for moments like that, momentum and things of that nature. But I just thought overall we deserved the win. We played well in the second half, particularly. The first half we had some moments, but we just looked all over the place, giving the ball away, just looked really sloppy in the final third at times. And then the second half it was a whole new team. And I think there were passages of play in that second half, Mame. I don't know if you agree with this with me, but that was some of the best I've seen us play. The link-up play between whether it be Salah and Firmino, Henderson was getting involved. Obviously, Ox gets his chance. Um, but just talk to me about the second half and how we seem to be able to just
Yeah, and that's
it's,
that's the
it's
difference.
almost like Liverpool kind of gives these teams this false hope of being in the game, and then right when they think they're in the game, boom, they just hit them.
Yeah, that was my point. That's the point I wanted to make.
Mm-hmm.
And we contain you, and then when you run out of gas, we just destroy you, and that
Yeah,
happened. Because the way we played in the second half, I don't think that we tried to play like that in the first half. You know, and that's the difference. Because the second half we just played like this is Liverpool. This is what we can do. You know, in the first half we were just like, okay, show us what you got.
right.
And they did really well, but they can't maintain that for more than a half.
Yeah, that's the
That's
thing.
the problem with teams like that. They don't have a quality, and the fitness level of our team, man. We have to talk about that, man. It's too much. Because if you look at the league, every team, they all seem like exhausted. I
Yep.
watched the Chelsea game today, Manchester game, and most of the games I watched them, but yo, these guys seem exhausted, all of them.
Yeah. I mean, that seems like something that Klopp is had in the team since he came in, and I always, there were people coming out saying that Klopp was working his players too hard and yada yada yada. But Klopp knew what he was doing, and I think even with some of the players now, even though they've been with Klopp for a bit now, and so they even had probably get used to it. I'm sure some of their bodies were breaking down, or maybe even mentally. But being at 3, 4 years, 4 or 5 years, whatever it is, everybody's really, I think, up to speed, and their fitness is top notch. And like you
Yeah,
said,
and
good.
yeah, and the injuries too. When you have those injuries, 2 weeks,
Mhm.
1 month or something like that, short injuries, it helps you to rest. And most of our main players have that right now. They have those 2 weeks injuries. You know, they rest, they come back fresher. You know, so that's kind of positive. It's the positive side of the small injuries.
The way this team is playing, man, they're giving us no excuses. Meaning, other teams lose players, and if they lose a game, they'll be like, oh, well, we're losing this, that, and the third, and we've been losing guys all season, as quiet as it's kept, and the reason why it hasn't really derailed us because the next man up, whether it be Hendo coming in and playing the six, somebody coming in and playing where Salah plays. Obviously, our goalkeeper was out for a minute, center back. So we just have a team now that's so strong, and everybody's so willing to put in a shift, no matter if your minutes are high or not. Excuse me. Um, so it's nice to just see guys like Ox come in and get a goal. I think
Yeah.
that's two. I think that's 2 for 2 for Ox now. Hendo coming up, and I'm gonna get back to Hendo. Circle back to Hendo in a minute because to me he was man of the match. I get why Firmino would have gotten it or people would have given it to Salah, but I thought Hendo was just again. He's been on a crazy run right now of just consistency, and it's really beautiful to see. But Gerri, um, I'm going left field right here, and I said this in my post match. Do you think it's possible that Hendo, at the end of his Liverpool career, could have you could say that he has equally as good a career as Gerard or even better?
No, 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 no. I just don't. I heard someone say that on Twitter. And for me, nah, just nowhere near. I mean, Gerard was just an incredible footballer. I mean, it was just unlucky that he was surrounded by, Henderson's surrounded by 7 Ballon d'Or nominees. So and obviously, as I said, Gerard was very, very unlucky not to win the Premier League title. Some would say that, and I would probably say that he messed up one of those. But even so, I mean, that one slip, the amount of goals you can see with that 50, we conceded 50 Premier League goals that year, and you can't expect to win a title with that. Um, and he was just a lot of bad, which Henderson, do. So he was part of that, and he knew. So it's just the luck that Henderson has had with Klopp being the manager, because obviously if Gerrard was 25 years old under Jurgen Klopp, I think you'd see, you know, Gerrard at 25 years old on Rafa Benitez was incredible. But imagine in this team, in his prime, in his peak here, he would be unstoppable, even more unstoppable than he already was. So if you're talking about the trophies, and obviously Henderson's probably going to surpass him, but as a player, he can't. I don't think he's anywhere near him, and I don't think he ever will be. I'm sorry, but that's just he's a great player. But if you're talking about Steven Gerrard, I mean, he's just incredible.
Yeah, I mean, for me, you could never compare the two talent wise and what they have to offer. It was more of a but about accomplishments, trophies.
Yeah,
I don't have the stats in front. I don't know how many trophies necessarily that
yeah.
Gerard
Well,
got in his career at
Gerrard,
Liverpool.
Gerrard, Gerrard won about I can't remember. I can't really put any. He won obviously he won the Champions League. He won a couple FA Cups, then he won the League Cup. So he didn't win a lot, but as I said, that wasn't really down to just Steven Gerrard. I mean, Steven Gerrard's one of those 11 players, and as I said, the amount of rubbish players he was surrounded in years. I mean, it was just 08, 09 when we should have won the league, should have won the league in 13, 14. So it was just as if Gerrard's in this club team now, in Henderson's years, then he's just as I said, he'd be part of an incredible team, and he'd have more honours to his name. It's just that he was just surrounded by a lot of mediocre managers in his time.
Yeah.
For many years. Obviously, Rafa Benitez was a good manager, but he couldn't really push us to the title. Rodgers couldn't push us to the title. Dalglish was a waste of time. Hodgson was a waste of time. So it was obviously Julio was actually a very good manager as well. But you know, a lot of years that we suffered, and as a talent wise, Henderson, as I said, can't he's a great player. But if he's Henderson, a great player, Gerrard was just unstoppable and one of the best that I've ever seen in my lifetime. As a complete footballer. As Henderson doesn't get near Gerrard talent wise, but obviously at the end of the day he'll win more trophies and he's gonna be remembered here because he's gonna be the captain that lifts our first title in 30 years in May.
Yeah, it's gonna be a beautiful thing. Mama, do you agree with that? Do you think there's you have anything different to say about the as far as at the end of Henderson's career? And I'm just talking about accomplishments here, not the player. Do you think that he could have just as good as a career, if not better, than Gerard Liverpool career?
Nah. Come on, man. It's not possible. You know, some people became fans of, a lot of people became fans of Liverpool because of Gerrard, how good he
Mm-hmm.
was.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't see that happening with Henderson.
Okay.
You know, being a Liverpool fan because of Henderson, nah, I don't think so. I don't think so. You know, so that says it all. But even if you look at it, Gerrard was best player of the team for so many years.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
So Hendo he's been doing great, but he's very far from being the best player of the team. You
So
know,
if we
for
get
all these.
if we get two prems, and this prem is gonna it could be paramount, the first of its time, the way we're going now. So we get two. Let's say we get back to back Premier League titles, and
Yeah, but
get the Champions
still,
League.
bro.
Hold on, wait. Get the Champions League this year. So that'd be two, and we get I don't know, let's say a handful of league cups between now and Henderson's done at the club. You still don't think just on accomplishments that he can be up there
Yeah,
with
no,
Gerard?
yeah, on accomplishment, okay,
Yeah, that's all
okay,
I'm
but
saying. That's all
just
I'm saying.
compare.
Not skill, not
Yeah,
skill. That would be crazy.
yeah, but it sounds really weird when you put those two names and try to compare them. You know, it's hard. Even if it's accomplishment, it's hard. But
See,
of
you say,
course,
see,
if it's on the accomplishment, of course you can say that, Hendo is that dude.
he's
He's
gonna
that dude because in the Champions League, what we're doing this season and everything, and I'm sure in the future, the next 5 years, we'll get many more trophies too. So yeah, of course you say that Hendo accomplished more than Gerrard. You can't deny. But as a player, you just can't compare
and see that now. See, that's the
them. It's
thing
not possible.
because there's a section of Liverpool supporters that were always trying to compare the two, which I always felt like was silly because there was no comparison. I thought it was way too much to even put on Henderson to expect him to be as good. Now, I personally think he's as good, if not better, captain. I think I never thought Gerard was a great captain. I think if you say he was a great captain because he led by example, cool. But to me, he just never was a great captain. He was always a
No,
great
I
football
think
player.
I think he was a great captain because he was the best football player of the team for so long. You know, because that's
Yeah,
that's what
that's fair. That's fair.
that that's what we look at captain. Sometimes you take your best player, sometimes you take the best leader. You lead by example, or you
I mean, let's be honest.
lead.
What leaders did we have?
That's the
What
thing.
leaders? What leaders did we realistically have during the whole Hodgson days, during the Rogers days, even during the Benitez days? I mean, I can remember Sammy Hupia,
Yeah.
leader, Jamie Carragher. But again, what I mean, you just don't really pick out and think, that's the leader. That's the leader right there. So obviously, and I think with the captains as well, I think Trent Alexander-Arnold will probably be a captain. Well, I say
Yeah.
probably he will be a captain, obviously because he's Scouse, and it's all sort of taken into consideration. Because I think Virgil van Dijk should probably. I've already said it many times. I still stand by. I think Virgil van Dijk is, the sort of captain, real captain in the team. You know what I mean? That the one that
Yeah,
should have
yeah.
an
That's the
armband,
thing.
and
Yeah. Go ahead.
it
Go ahead.
it doesn't really mean much. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
obviously he's the captain. It doesn't mean much. I'm not really too bothered about it. But yeah, that's it really.
Yeah, I mean, I think with Hendo and Van Dyke, it's whatever way you want it. 1A, 1B, 2B, whatever. I think they both are the captain. I mean, Henderson has the armband, but again, I mean, to round it off, this is more devil's advocate. I'm curious what you guys think, but to round it off, I mean, I think obviously Henderson is surrounded by, as you said, I mean, was it seven, six, seven Ballon d'Or finalists? So he's
Yeah.
surrounded by much better players. And again, if Gary said, if Gerard was in this team, I mean, goodness, we probably could go back to back undefeated. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I can understand the Liverpool fan who compare them because, especially the young ones, because they didn't live to see what Gerard was capable of, what he was really doing. So they only see now. And
yeah,
with this era with Klopp, man, everybody seems just like the best Liverpool player of this position of all time. So
yeah,
you
yeah,
can
for sure.
understand that.
Yeah, I mean, you just need to watch. You just need to watch one sort of. I mean, you just look at Gerrard in the Legends game when he plays in March against AC Milan last year. The way he just still has the ability to strike the ball the way he does, it's just unbelievable. I mean,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
the closest thing we've ever come to a player in terms of. I'm not listen before anyone goes to me. I'm talking about a player that can actually strike a ball outside the box. And the closest player we've ever had is Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain in terms of hitting the ball outside the box. We haven't really had someone that can pick the ball up and hit the ball as well as he can. I'm not saying obviously Gerrard.
Coutinho, man. Coutinho, come on.
Oh yeah, Coutinho as well. Yeah, I forgot about him. Haven't I actually tweeted that before. Yeah, I should probably delete that now. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Coutinho is a forgotten man now, isn't he nowadays? But yeah, I mean, let's switch it now. Let's switch it to the most recent English player. um, but yeah, him and Coutinho obviously. So I think, but I'm talking about what we have in right now in the team. He's probably the best in terms of just picking the ball
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
I don't think Henderson can do that. Obviously, Fabinho did it against Man City, but he's obviously defensive midfielder. Ronaldo he only does it for Holland, so that's why I like having Chamberlain in the team because I mean Chamberlain he's something different to our midfielders.
Would you put Naby in that category or no?
I haven't seen him shoot from long range. As I said, I've seen a couple of times from RP from against in the RP Leipzig games. I've
Mm,
seen it a couple of times, but I've not seen it for Liverpool. I
okay.
can't remember him actually taking a shot from long range. I don't know if you remember, but I haven't really seen that
Yeah,
before.
outside the box, probably not. No, I don't
Yeah,
think
like
so.
just outside the box, I think as a Chamberlain's probably the only one that I've seen that can actually pick the ball up and shoot, and that's what I like about Chamberlain. I know a lot of people give me a lot of
I,
criticism,
th-
but
I think Salah. I think Salah can too, but he's always in the box, so it's not easy for him to do that. But
uh,
he has a really good shot.
and I think as a Chamberlain's probably the one that hits the ball the most clean. You know what I mean, with proper power, proper direction. And you saw again that was a brilliant finish today, a really good finish. But to round things off,
Yeah,
I mean Henderson and Gerrard. Listen, it's just unlucky that Steven Gerrard left when Jurgen Klopp was about to be the manager, and that he was that he was born about 6 years to Henderson was born 6 years later than Gerrard, wasn't he, or something like that. So it's just Gerrard's fault. It's Gerrard's luck, isn't it? Really, to be honest. And so it's nothing to do with that. Gerrard was 10 times better footballer than he was, and
yeah,
he just happens to be that he's in a successful team. That's it, really.
Yeah, I get that. Mame, um, Trent getting back into some form. Back-to-back games with goals that can only help him. I don't
Ox,
look,
you mean?
huh?
You said Trent, or do you mean Ox?
I'm in Ox. Sorry.
Oh,
Um, 2 goals, 2 games. I don't always particularly like him on the left, but as I said a long time ago, it's almost any lineup Klopp puts out, I'm happy with. There are certain players that I just feel like fit better, this other positions. But to see Ox get in the game again, in a different position, it's really good for him, man. Coming off the injury, of course. I'm glad that he hasn't had any setbacks. I think Klopp's doing well with not letting him. I don't think he's done a full 90 yet. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he's usually getting subbed off. But what do you think about Ox's performance today? And do you like him on the wing there, Mame?
yeah. As I said, it's the first time I was satisfied with his performance on the wing.
Mm,
Because usually I just hate it when he plays on the wing. I think it's a waste of time. But today he did really, really well. And that's what you expect from him when he plays on the wing, especially when someone like Mane is not playing, or Salah, or someone of the front three. I think that he did better than Origi would do on the wing. So
Yeah, yeah, I can see that. I can
yeah,
see that.
so that's really positive. And yeah, he's been doing great. And Ox is the kind of player that brings something that other other offensive players or midfielders that don't bring, like those runs, those long shots and everything. That's really positive. You really need it. Yo, this Champions League is gonna be lit, man.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's a lot of good matchups, man. Almost all the matchups are pretty good, actually. To be honest, even like
Yeah,
some.
because it seems like all the players are getting into good form right now.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, even the Atalanta and Valencia, for example, I think would be good. And we talked about Leon Barca, I think, and I know you told me that Memphis Depay is gone, so that probably won't be as good. Even though I think it's end of an era for Barcelona, they look really bad lately, in my opinion. So, but they'll probably get
Yeah,
past
yeah.
Leon. But no, there's some great matchups. But yeah, Gary, same thing, man. Ox, I'm sure you like us, really proud of him coming on, getting the goals, getting some minutes under his belt, and just looking happy, man. It felt so bad for Ox of what he had to deal with the injury, and then
Mm.
recently another little setback. But he's come back and he's fighting, man. He's fighting hard.
Yeah, I mean, I think you know that I'm one of Ox's biggest fans. I think you can probably tell. I'm a big fan of Ox's Chamberlain. As I said, I like midfielders that just give something different to our team, and he's one of them. As I said, he can pick a ball up, drive with it, take a shot from goal, and what a brilliant finish that was! And 2 goals in 2 games for him. He had a little difficult spell with the games against Spurs. I thought he played didn't have the greatest games. United, I thought he was much better, but the Wolves again, not the greatest of games, but 2 goals in 2 games now. And I think with Chamberlain, with every player as well, you always need a run of a few starts in a row, a run of games to get into your rhythm. Just like Joe Gomez. That's why when Joe Gomez was looking a bit shaky, he's getting an odd game here and there, and he wasn't really getting into a rhythm. And now he's into that rhythm, and he's incredible. So yeah, Chamberlain was brilliant today. Very very good, and changed position, playing on the left. But I think how many starts is that for Chamberlain now? Is that 5 starts in a row in the league?
I,
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
so.
yeah, 5 starts in a row, and few injuries here and there. They've helped him out to get these starts, and that's good. Now we've got another option. That's fit and ready and raring to go. We've got Fabinho coming back to speed. Henderson, Ronaldo, both playing well. Chamberlain now getting goals. Keita's going to come back now, so everything just is switching up now. It's looking a lot better, and especially in that midfield. And we needed that. So for me, as I said, Chamberlain, I didn't want him to rest. I don't think he wanted to rest as well. He needs a run of games, and I would continue that. I would start him again. I would probably start him again at Norwich. You know, would I start him in the Champions League though? I mean, that's the real question. And would Klopp start him? I don't think Klopp will. Personally, I think probably what we'll probably do is like a Fabinho, Henderson, Ronaldo again. I think that's what will probably
Oh
happen.
yeah. I don't see that happening. I mean,
Can't really see.
obviously we've got some injury issues. Obviously, you can probably see in the future, but
Yeah, but I
especially
think.
Mane being back and off the bench for sure. Maybe one of the first guys off the bench, but
But
from
I
the
think
start, yeah,
I think we'll see him mostly in the because I think we still need to see a bit more performance-wise as well. I said
yeah,
just
that's
a bit
true.
more.
That's true.
We can't just go into it because I think there's a lot more to his performances. I mean, remember 17-18 season in Champions League, we've seen a lot more than this, especially just in that midfield three. So I think we need to see a lot more, him playing in the midfield. So as I said, we need to see a bit more than just goals, because he's got that to his game. I think we know that. But yeah, I can just see him sticking to these Premier League games right now, like a Norwich away, like a West Ham at home. Just building up that momentum, and that confidence. And who knows? We'll see him. We'll probably see him if he continues up scoring goals. If he continues playing well, we'll probably see him in the Champions League knockout stages, just like we saw him a couple of years back. So it's all good, looking good at the minute, and we've got loads of options in the team. So the squad's looking a lot healthier.
Yeah, Mame. It's just crazy, man. Seeing this team, gone are the days where we had to worry about teams sitting back or pressing us. It's almost like this team is equipped to deal with anything. If you press us, we'll get through that. Yeah, Southampton got some moments today, but clearly they didn't make anything of it, so it didn't count. Um, if you sit back, we kind of press you and force you to come out, or just smother you and get the ball off you. So it's just, I mean, we got fullbacks now, not like Sacco or Skirtle, who you get paranoid when they have the ball at their feet. We have guys who can actually move with the ball, and do it comfortably. So just a full package of a team, man. And it's just crazy sitting back to see week by week how we do that. But Firmino, man, I thought Firmino was the glue today, as he often is, and I don't know if he'll ever get the credit. I say
Three,
again.
three assists.
Yeah, I mean the guy was incredible, man, and even the goals that or I guess the other one, it was almost like he either had the assist or the hockey. He was always around everything we did. The build up play, counter attack, he's always there. Um, I don't know if he'll ever get the credit that he really deserves. Maybe when he makes the transition and leaves this earth, I don't know. But talk to me about Firmino, Mame. How impressed you were with him today?
Mm.
Wow, man. Firmino is just, man, this guy is so good. You don't even know how to describe him. You know, people say he's a number 9. For me, it's just a number 10. Man. He's a number 10, and he's uh, he's the heart and soul of this team, especially offensively. Man. He does everything, everything. You see him play. Most of my friends that are not Liverpool fans, their favorite player is Firmino. Those who really know football,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and they say he sees everything before everybody else. The guy is so talented, and today he showed it. I think I'm not worried about Firmino not scoring many goals because of what he does. Obviously, there's some argument, people saying, yeah, he should score more goals because he's the number 9 and stuff. But yo, if someone gives you performances like this, you don't need anything else. What do you need? 3 assists, being the glue, being at the center of everything we do well. Yo, I think he's the man of the match. I wanted to give it to Hendo, but Firmino is definitely the man of the match.
Yeah, it's almost no wrong choice there. I mean, I think you can even put Salah in the comments. I thought Salah was really good today.
Yes, Salah was great, man.
Yeah, his footwork was nasty today. I mean, it was just unbelievable. And when Mane isn't out, I do kind of look to Salah just to see where his head is at, how he plays. I thought he was very unselfish today, and that was really impressive to see. And even some of the chances where he was being unselfish, they didn't always go off in terms of him getting the assist. But yeah, I like seeing him playing that in that format. He looks like he's having he's enjoying his football, having a good time. But yeah, go ahead.
That's the Salah we love to see, man. I
Yep.
really liked how we played today. I hope you play this way of the season, man. This is really like world class Salah for me when he plays like this.
Yep. I mean, and again, it's just Mane is a big attacking figure for us, and again, it just goes to show like, it doesn't matter who's in this team and who isn't. I mean, they're not making any excuses for it, man. It doesn't matter how many games they've played, who's hurt, who's tired, if that's even a thing. I know they never let they get tired, but they just keep trucking, man.
Yeah,
It's you
and
never.
we have
I
so
don't think I've
many
ever. Good.
we have so many good players that, man, if you want to play, you have to you have to take your chance.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So when Ox came today on the left, yo, he showed Mane, yo, you better be ready, man, when you come back.
Yeah. Yep. And I think again, putting in performances like that, because who knows when you perform like that. Obviously, every day of the week, we'd rather have Mane there and no one else on the left. But when guys are playing in good form, it even gives you a chance to say, okay, well, maybe we'll let this guy get as much more time as he needs, take the time, come back. Kind of what we did with Allison. I think Allison was ready way before he actually came back. But because Adrian was doing so well, it's like, okay, well, look, let's let him get fully fit and bring him in. It's not like we're missing a beat without some of these guys. And that's that again,
We
man.
have to, we have to talk about Alisson too, man.
Yeah. We're gonna get to. I want to get Gary's opinion on Firmino, and then we'll get to Allison.
Yeah, I mean, this is the Firmino that we want to see because I remember before we went to the Club World Cup, right? I remember after that Watford game, I think we were all like, obviously for me, the stuff he does can be unseen, but we weren't seeing enough from him. And I was saying that, I want to see a bit more, and this is what I want to see. He just wasn't involved, his touch wasn't right. But now, since that goal against Monterrey, he's just been on fire from the getting the goal, winning the Club World Cup, getting us into the semi-final, away at Spurs, couple goals away at Leicester, big goals again, goal away at Wolves, 3 assists today. He's just been incredible. I mean, should have scored the goal against United should have stood as well. This is the real Firmino I want to see, and he's incredible, man. He's just a joy to watch. And when I've seen him in real life, and when you're up so close to him, it's just the control, everything. It's 10 times better when you actually see him in the stadium in real life. It's just such a joy to watch him. When you watch it on TV, you think, wow, but when you're so close to him, about 4 or 5 meters away from him, it's just something else. And you think this guy is just unbelievable. He's unbelievable. He's so good. He's technically probably the best player in this football team. He is technically the best player in this football team. But by a good amount of distance. The things he does, I said, not a lot of players can do in the world. So we're blessed to have him. He works hard as well. He's a phenomenal player, and he complements the front three, Salah and Mane, so well, and whoever plays. So yeah, as I said, another 3 assists for him today. And yeah, he was just a joy to watch as always.
Yeah, I agree with you, both of you guys on Firmino, and he just does so much for this team. I lie with most of you guys, both of you guys probably said that at some point. And so, yeah, I mean, he's just so important, so integral to what we do, and I just love seeing him out there in that form. And he hasn't scored a goal at home, but there's guys in our team and football in general that wouldn't have that many assists based on the fact that, look, I gotta get a goal. I haven't scored at Anfield. I need to take this shot. But it's almost like he's always looking for an assist before anything. And so that kind of the giving that he does to the team and not being selfish in that way is really, really big. And I just love that he's part of the team and all the hard work he does. And Mama said
Man,
he's the same.
listen,
Good.
if Firmino was selfish, Salah selfish, and Mane too selfish, man, that would be crazy, man.
Yeah, he's kind of
Here
like
anywhere.
he's kind of like the mediator of the front three. He's the guy that he's definitely gonna be looking to pass, and it seems like he cares more about helping the team in that way than goals. Obviously, he'll get them, and I'm sure he wants to score, but he's just very, very. I just love the way he plays in the team, man, and how he's just so giving of himself to the team for any cause, whether it be checking back, playing defense, making the pass, getting the goal, whatever the case may be, being physical. So just very fortunate to have a guy like that in our team. But I want to get to Becker because Mommy did bring him up, and I wanted to get to him anyway. And you guys remember that keeper back in the day? I think he was Colombian. Was his name Rene Higuita or the
Oh
guy
yeah,
who was?
Igita, yeah. Rene
Yeah,
Igita.
so he was that old fashioned sweeper keeper and like took some risk. And obviously they're two different keepers. But
No,
I say Allison reminds me of him just because
that
there's
was too
times when I
much,
watch
man. This guy was.
he did
there's
that thing.
times
Do you remember? He did that scorpion kick against England where he just did that little. I
yeah,
don't know if you've seen it. Yeah, he's that
but
sort of. Alisson just that sort of keeper, isn't he? Man, just he's incredible. I mean,
why
he's such a
Did,
great
did,
stopper as
did,
well.
did you watch the World Cup 1990 where he held the ball? I think it was Colombia against Cameroon, and he was out with the ball, and Roger Mila stole the ball and scored
He used to
like
run with the
twice.
ball,
It was
didn't he?
crazy.
I mean, he used to pick up the ball from his net and he used to run into midfield with it.
Exactly, and he did it, and Roger Mila, the Cameroon player, stole the ball and scored. I think they got eliminated
yeah, I
because of
mean
that.
I remember that, and I think
watching Allison at times I get nervous, and it's only because I don't really see keepers doing what he does so much. And he's always calm and cool and he's in control of it. But there's times when I'm thinking, oh, that was kind of close. Or it's almost like he's so bored back there because our defense is so good that he always wants to be part of something. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it looks a little rash, risky, but he's always under control. And today again, he came up with some big saves, man. It's just so nice to have a keeper finally, man. I mean, getting Van Dijk, getting Mane, Salah, Fabinho, all these dudes. having a good keeper, man, it was almost like that last piece, that last centerpiece, especially after the Champions League with Karius. That was the last piece that you said. If we got a keeper that was just half decent, we'd be good. But this guy exceeds all of that, my man.
Yeah, you know, Allison was out 2 months, right? 2 months.
Hmm.
And now he has more clean sheets than anyone in the league.
Yep.
That says it all. And every single game, even when we dominate the game, you know, he just at least make one save, one great save, one or two, you know, and that's crazy, man. And if you think back at the time, you think about those keepers, you just say how did we manage to get to the final with those kind of keepers?
I know, man. It's crazy.
Uh, for me, Alisson is the you know, people talk about Ter Stegen and stuff, but Alisson, the guy, everything seems so easy to him because he make the right choice, the right
Yeah.
positioning.
You know it is as well, man.
Yeah, and he's so big.
Yeah,
You know,
and
sometimes you just know that.
Go ahead, Gary.
yeah. Well, I mean, the thing with Allison is, it's like I think I remember watching the game. I think it Spurs away, and someone said, I think it was Gary Neville, wasn't it? And he was saying that even long range shots, the way he just collects them, he doesn't push them back into play, and when they are good shots, he pushes them out of play, out for a corner or sorry, I mean a throw in or something like that. Never pushes the ball back into play, and those shots that he collects, as I said, he makes them look so easy. You know what I mean? The way he just it's just unbelievable the way he does it. I'm just lost for words. I've never seen
Yeah,
a goalkeeper in my lifetime as good as him. At playing at the football club at Liverpool. You know what I mean? I think Pepe Reina was brilliant. But and him and his passing was the way he used to kick the ball and counter attacks. I remember he was very good at that.
And
But listen, it's just
he only conceded
raw
one goal
package.
outside of the box
Who?
since he was in Liverpool.
Oh
Who?
wow.
Yeah, I think it was
Who?
Messi.
Belgrade.
I listen.
Messi, I think.
Who was it? Who are you talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah. Apart from a free kick
Oh
from
Yeah.
yeah,
Messi, but this
no way.
it's
And
Belgrade
I,
game when
I
when
saw, saw, saw
lost that game.
I saw a quote as well. I think Ralph Hasenhüttl said it, but this might be a bit off topic. But he said that on Liverpool, not for one moment does this team ever underestimate you, and that is what makes them unbeatable at the moment. And this is why when people keep saying to me, "Oh, why do you always predict Liverpool to win every single game?" and why do you know what I mean? I predict Liverpool to win every single game not because of how good we are, but because we go into every game with 0% of complacency, and we treat every single team with the same respect, whether it's a Sunday league team or whether it's
Man
or
City.
Man
Oh,
City,
Man City. Yeah,
Norwich,
yeah.
Man City. It doesn't matter. We treat them with the same amount of respect, and that's why people have a go at me when I'm like, oh, Liverpool. Why do you keep predicting to win every single game? Where's this confidence coming from? I mean, it's nothing to do with the players because you can field the 11 brilliant players together. You know what I mean? They need to be coached. They need to have a certain mentality, a certain way about them. And this is why I predict us to win every game. This is why I just go into the game just comfortable, knowing that we're going to win. Because even
That's,
I know that Klopp is going to kick them out the backsides, and we're going to end up winning the game. I wasn't worried for 1 second at half time. I knew we were going to end up winning, and we go and smash them 4-0. Even though they've been, I think they've lost. I think they've unbeaten in 9. I saw some stats saying they're unbeaten 9 games. I mean, away from home or something. So this is what I'm saying, is zero complacency in this team, and that's what separates us from every single team in this league and in the world.
Yeah, Salim, welcome, man. You want to give me just a brief summary of how you felt about the game?
uh, first half, I wasn't even worried about it. I was similar to Gary. I wasn't even worried about it. And I was kind of like, the, the the only thing that hurt me was when Van Dyke missed that chance. I mean, that was
Yeah,
beautiful.
yeah, yeah.
I was like, oh, come on, you got to make that because it was a beautiful pass, long ball pass from Salah, right on the money for him. Could at least taken 1-2 touch, but we're not on the field, so we can. But other than that, that's the only thing that I was kind of like, oh man, take that chance. Other than that, I was like, okay, second half they're gonna get the full breath of Liverpool, the players, and it happened. Second half, full on wrath. Like like the players were telling him, "How dare you try to attack us?" Like that's the way I felt from the game. The second half, like we're gonna smack you in the mouth for even thinking about playing good. That it wasn't disrespectful to them, but to tell them, "Hey, we're gonna do this to you." Like if you didn't, you weren't clinical in your chance, so we're gonna do this to you and show you how to be clinical. And that's the way I saw the game. It was a beautiful game. I mean, y- people are gonna complain from the first half, but we played good. I mean, they came out. Gotta give them respect for that. You know, they came out. They played like that's the first team I seen a team play in the first half, full 45 minutes, full on, like take it to Liverpool, but they couldn't handle it in the second half. But they weren't clinical, so yeah, I give them respect for that. So the game was good. I came in while you guys were discussing Allison, right? The thing is, you know when Oblak and the Stegen make those wow saves, right? Like wow, how they do that, right? Allison, those wow saves become easy. They're like, that's the save. People complain about, well, Ter Stegen and Oblak are doing this. No, because Allison make those saves that they make in the wild save looking like it easy. Like earlier when that guy made that full on shot to him, he hit it with his hand, collected the ball right on there. Ter Stegen and Oblak would have made it. Oh, it would have been incredible. But I've seen so many like things he does that they're like, okay, this isn't easy. But if you look at it from other keepers, you'd be like, wow, that's incredible. How do they do this? That's that's what I see from Allison. It's like that confidence, that calm composure, doesn't get rattled, doesn't look for the wild saves. The, the hardest the hardest becomes the easiest. Simple. I haven't seen him like he will make the wild save, but it's rare. But it's like every save, it's like, oh man, it's easy save. It's like, how does he do that? I
Yeah, and
mean,
I mean, it's crazy that people bring up things like Oblak, Ter Stegen, Chesney. I mean, Courtois. This guy's just. I think is just doing so much more. Um, and one thing that people were saying about Allison before we got him is that he did have some issues with parrying the ball back into the line of fire and stuff like that. I don't see him doing much of that. And if it is, it's out of the way. It's not like he's punching it right back into the box. So I just think he clicks every box you need for a keeper, especially the style we play. He's so good. Him being as good as he is allows us to do that high line. That's really the only reason I think. I think obviously Klopp was really kind of gung ho on going with that this season more than anything because of the offsides and stuff like that. But I think even more so it's because we have that good keeper behind us as that last line where he can keep things up. So no, I'm very pleased with Allison, man. And again, it was like the final piece to the puzzle, I think, for this team to be as good as they are. And knowing what we did last year, it's no real surprise. It shouldn't be that we came back and did one better this season in the Premier League. So just looks really good here on out, man. At this point, it's really about when we win it and how many points we get.
I
I think
mean, if
everyone knows we
man,
got it. So
yeah, it's like, I mean, they're saying like if it will be at the head, but I expect it could happen earlier than that. If
Of course,
Man
of
City
course.
drop tomorrow points, if they drop 2 points, then you're looking at the last game at home at Crystal Palace. That's when officially Liverpool can clinch. And if
No,
they drop another points,
they've
then
still
you're
got more.
looking at yeah,
They've
then
still
you're
like
looking at
Chelsea away with that.
and Goodison. Yeah, I mean they got Chelsea away. I don't,
yeah,
away.
but
Yeah,
Chelsea is garbage, man. I don't even want to
United
think
away,
about
Leicester away. Yeah,
Chelsea's
United,
garbage.
talking about
United
City.
away.
We're talking about City. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? You never know what can happen.
I'm not.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
I,
true.
I'm
It's
I don't know.
because
because I don't.
the thing is the
I see
thing
we
is
winning.
people know how to beat City now. It's not that hard anymore.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they were never going to keep. I mean, 3 years in a row is just too much in the first place. But I mean, yeah, I agree with that. I think City at this point, especially if they do drop tomorrow, then they're totally. I mean, I think they already have come to the realization that Liverpool's got it. Everyone else has, so that they're just the last of the party. But I think for them and Pep, it's really about putting everything into that Champions League. They got Laporte back, so hopefully there's no excuses about that. I think tomorrow's game will be a draw. Honestly, I
He's
got a
injured.
feeling. I got a feeling it'll be a draw. What's up?
Yeah, but yeah, they put everything in the Champions League, but I think they have a little bit of honor too. Because man, if you end up winning by 30 points, that would look really bad on them.
But we are
Yeah,
gonna
I mean,
we're
they
gonna
made
end up.
everybody look bad their first season though. So I mean, I don't know. I just think their main objective right now has got to be
No,
Champions League.
the thing is that would look more bad is if Liverpool just only drew one game and they just won 37 out of it. That's
Yeah, that's
and
true.
and
That's true.
and I think to me like I'm 50% chance that we will retain our Champions League. So if that happens, I mean the whole of Europe is gonna be like, how the heck did these guys did it? So I really don't see any team stopping this Liverpool side. I mean, it's the way I see it. Every game is like, if I'm in opposition, I
It
mean,
seems
how
like
the
we're
heck?
getting stronger and stronger.
Yeah, I mean, how the
Which
heck?
is crazy at this time in the season, but yeah.
And the funny thing is, they were saying if we lose
Yeah.
one of our key players, okay, we just lost one of our front three. I mean,
Man, we've
what
been losing
excuse?
guys all season, man.
No, no,
I don't pay attention to
I
that.
mean, what excuse? Like, we gave you one of the biggest excuses now. Oh, Liverpool lost one of their key players. Okay, he didn't play 2 games. He didn't even play 3.5 games. And I don't think he's going to play against Norwich, but I think he will play, but it's not going to be a lot of minutes. So, what, excuse me, we lost Matip. Matip was our best defender. I mean, to me, he was better than Van Dijk. You got Gomez
Agreed.
stepped up. I mean, Gomez is another level now. I mean,
Yeah.
we lost Fabinho, our best defender, best defensive midfielder. For how long? 2 months? Close to 2 months, right? So what excuses do you want more? What could we give you more to finally say? Even Salah has been injured. Like he's been playing with the ankle for 2 months. That ankle, even Klopp came out and said he's been playing with the ankle problem. What excuse do you want more? We even Fabinho hasn't scored at home. So what excuse do you want more? What do you want? Like I mean, Royal fans, I don't understand. Just accept it. It's the reality. It's inevitable.
Take the title, baby.
Nothing. Yeah. It's nothing you could do about it. Nothing. No matter what you do, no matter how you try to say it, it's a reality. You just gotta accept. Say, clap your hands off and just say, you know what, Liverpool has done it. We can't stop them.
Yeah. So, Salim, who was your man of the match, man?
To me, I'll give it to Fabinho, man. He in the second half, he was another level, man.
Yeah.
I think three guys to me was Henderson, Salah, and Firmino and Gomez. Gomez was incredible.
Yeah.
Him and Van Dijk, but to me, the guy who changed the game and everything was none other than Firmino. I mean, those three passes, and the way he was doing everything, he kind of threw them off in the second half. So I don't know what Klopp told him in the second half, but to me, he was the man of the match for me.
Gerri?
It's probably between Salah and Firmino for me. I mean, Salah's finish for the third goal. Oh, that was brilliant. It's all like a little Messi-esque finish, isn't it, when he like little things. But I think I'll give it to Firmino. Just Firmino for those 3 assists, everything. Yeah, Firmino for me.
And Mame, you said Firmino as well?
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Yeah. Just to close it out, there's not really much that we need to be worried about as supporters of this team. But I'm just curious. I'm gonna come to you guys individually. I'll stay with you, Mame. The fullbacks. Is there any concern, or is there any? Obviously we're winning games, and so it's not a big deal. But have you seen anything in one of them particularly, or both of them, that you feel like has been off lately, or you think it's all the same?
I think it's different. I think they have not been that important in
Yeah, that's
the
probably a good way to
game.
put it.
Yeah, in the past few games.
Yeah.
But you can understand because now when we play against a team, they say, "Yo, if you want to block Liverpool, just try to block the wings." You know, and so you can understand it. But obviously, we got so many ways to win, so many ways to hurt you that I think in a few games time he will come back to normal. And plus, these guys are tired too, man. They've been playing every games. I think after this 2 weeks break, things gonna be a lot like it used to be, back to normal.
Yeah. I mean, we said it early, man. There's so many ways to beat teams with this Liverpool squad. I mean, we're effective with the long ball tactic if we want to be. We're effective with turning you over by pressing you. We can sit back, sit in. We can play if you want to call it tiki taka, move the ball around through your press. So many ways to win the game. So, yeah, I agree with that. I mean, if teams are feeling like they can set up to nullify us that way, and Liverpool are fighting other ways, then I don't really mind them having a game or two off or three or four. I mean, as long as they're winning the game, and even if they are having a bad period, they still play a role in the team one way or another. I mean, we can say Trent hasn't been great lately, but he'll pop up with an assist from a set piece or something like that. So yeah, I agree with that. Gary, your opinions on the fullbacks?
Yeah, a bit same with Mame, really. I think it happens in sort of if someone's blocking your fullbacks from supplying service, then it just leaves space for to do more good things, or Salah to do more good things, and all these other players. So as I said, we're a threat from every area of the pitch. This is why you can't stop us. We don't have a threat from when let's attack or the width or anything. We play from everywhere, which means that we're just a threat for the whole game from every area of the pitch. Um, so I think sometimes it's just a bit too much sort of expectation on some of these fullbacks to always create with the ball. We have to remember that they are our own fullbacks. I mean? They aren't going to put an assist or anything every game. So yeah, I mean, I'm just uh, it's nothing really.
Salim?
I mean, I don't want to use the excuses of they're tired. But yeah, they kind of been off. But I wouldn't be too much into it. I mean, you can look at it. The teams. I mean, we played West Ham, and we played uh, Saints today, Southampton. All of them used low blocks, and they used 4-4-2. I mean, Wolves used three at the back, so they stopped our fullbacks from doing anything. They basically said, let your midfield dictate anything. So I wouldn't hold it too much, and I wouldn't look at it a lot. But I think the break, the winter break will do them good, and they'll be fresh. So I'm not too concerned about the fullbacks. But yeah, 3 games we could be concerned, but 3 games is nothing, and we still won dominated. I mean, 2 of them we dominated. The other one was iffy, but yeah, no, I'm not too concerned. I wouldn't be too concerned.
Okay. Hey, Gary, I accidentally muted your mic. I don't know if you can. They won't let me unmute you. I don't know if you. There we
Yeah,
go.
yeah. That wasn't the rustling. Wasn't me, bro.
Oh no, I said it was an accident. I didn't mean to mute you.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
okay.
yeah. No, I didn't mean to mute you. But
Uh,
yeah, yeah. I mean, I think all in all, I agree with you guys on the fullbacks, man. I think again, if it just shows another notch in this team to just find just that other way, and it just continues to show the growth of this team because not too long ago if we were stopped one way, the famous Klopp has no plan B. This team has no plan B. Now we've got B, C, D, and E. So
Mhm.
it's just
We have all
just
the
finding a way to.
alphabet.
Yeah, yeah, no, exactly, exactly. We're just finding ways to knock dudes out. So yeah, I mean, Mommy brought up a good point. It's we're just getting stronger and stronger somehow. I don't know how that's even possible. I mean, all the games we played, the injuries we've had, the fitness levels. We got to be the fittest team in England, if not Europe, to be honest. So all that taken in consideration, and they're still performing like this. It's really amazing. So I always come to Gary on this. I know he keeps the roster up, but what are the next 3 fixtures we have after this break? And how long is the break? Is it what, like 2 weeks or something like that?
it's 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Yeah, so we've got Norwich away on the 15th. Atletico Madrid on the 18th, so on the Tuesday. Then we got West Ham at home on the Monday. Then we've got Watford away on the 29th. Then I think if I can remember, it's Bournemouth on the 7th, and yeah, then Atletico Madrid on the 11th. So that's like the next few games.
Okay. Yeah, so this is a good little time, man, as far as the opponents we have, just to build some more momentum. Before we go, just in closing, I know it's a while away from now, but are any of you paying too much attention to La Liga and what Atletico Madrid is doing?
Well, yeah, they beat games. That's
Yeah,
what's
I've been watching a few games.
What did you say, Gary?
I said they've been
Yeah,
losing. That's what's
I
happening.
think.
Hold,
Yeah,
hold,
they
hold,
got
hold,
beat.
hold, 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 Salim, hold on one second, man. Go ahead, Gary.
I said they've been losing games. That's what's been happening recently. I mean,
Yeah,
Okay.
they haven't won in 5 games. Lost 4 in the last 5.
Okay. Go ahead, Salim.
yeah, the same thing. I mean, they they've been losing games like in a weird way, and they even lost. What is it to? They lost in a penalty shootout in the Copa del Rey, right? Yeah, I think.
Super Cup.
Yeah,
Oh no, no, they
the
lost.
Copa del Rey. The Copa del Rey.
Yeah,
They
they lost.
lost. They got they got
Time. They
knocked
lost
out.
Leoness or something like that, didn't they?
Okay.
They lost 2-1 and they've
It's,
won.
it's, it,
And
they
they
didn't.
got beaten. And they got beaten by the Madrid derby today. So 1-0.
I
I
was
mean,
like,
they'll.
they just don't want to win, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like they're just playing for the draw every time.
Yeah, that's the Simeone way, though, man. And I feel like, so I
Very
guess
good.
they didn't get it. Did they get a new striker in the window or no?
No. No, there's only
No,
one guy. They
Cavani
had it for a
didn't.
long time.
They bought Yannick Carrasco back on loan.
Oh my God. Okay. Wow, these teams in Europe are desperate, man. Um, yeah, well, the Champions League is a different ball game, but I mean, I think all of us felt pretty confident going into playing Atletico Madrid anyway. But I'll stick with you, Mame, before we close out, and I'll ask each one of you guys. But does Atletico Madrid's form really play a role, you think, or you think it'll be tougher because it's Champions League when we play them?
I don't know. Of course, it's always going to be tough, like when you play Atleticos, especially at home. As I said, they will just try to nullify you, nothing else. And yeah, that's the truth, though. That's what they've been doing, and that's we know them for.
Yeah.
So they form or not, I just at all. I'm not saying it's gonna be an easy ride, but we'll come through.
Yeah, I hear you on that. Gary?
Yeah, what was the question? It was about Real Madrid, right?
Yeah, it was just, do you think, are you taking too much stock into what their form has been? Does it really matter? Do you probably think we'd probably beat them handily anyway, or is it because of the Champions League it'll probably be tough either way?
No, because I think we haven't lost a two-legged game on the clock. We won to when we've been in European competition, we won to every final. We don't lose over 2 legs in clock because just like how Rafa Benitez was very good at managing games in terms of over 2 legs. We got to final, we were being Chelsea and all these teams, so we're always good over 2 legs. And even on the club, very, very good. Uh, I think there's a chance we'll probably win away at their stadium. I think it'll be tough. They'll probably park the bus in that. I think João Felix, I think he's apparently out as well. He could be a doubt for the game. So not that I'm worried anyway. I'm really not worried about the game at all. I think even if we get a draw away, I think we'll just batter them at home. They're not the same Atletico Madrid that they were a few years ago. I think with Godin leaving as well, going to Inter Milan, they've lost some that sort of steel in the fence. And it's Martin's favourite player, Trippier, on that side as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing that match up again.
Yeah. Salim?
You wanna know something to get like excited for Liverpool about in Europe? We have only lost two-legged ties one time. That was it '08, I think,
Mm-hmm.
and I think '06 somewhere, and that was against
Chelsea.
yeah, Chelsea. So
Well, Chelsea was
it,
08, wasn't it? Chelsea.
and no, and '08 Chelsea and against Arsenal.
Yeah. No, we beat Arsenal, didn't we?
in the '06 Champions League quarterfinal, I think.
Oh, wait, was it Arsenal that we got knocked out to? Because I remember
Yeah.
we went past them, didn't we? Or was that was '07, wasn't it?
No. 07, I think it was '07. '07 we beat
Arsenal.
Chelsea '07.
Yeah, we beat
'06
Chelsea
it was
7.
yeah, and yeah, we have like good record in Europe, and I think I'm not really too concerned about it. I mean, yeah, it's the Champions League, and I
We
think the
won the
players
community.
will be up, and the players will be up for. I think we might even kill the tie in the first leg. If we don't kill it, I don't think Atletico will definitely do not want to come to Anfield. I mean, they don't they know what they're up against, so I think they'd be more concerned. It's going to be Champions League. I mean, Champions League form is out of the window. I mean, throw form out of the window and everything. It's a Champions League game. It's going to be a tough game. It's going to be 180 minutes dueling out. Who's coming out? I think we will come out, but they'll make it tough. But I expect us to easily get, not easily, but at least get through it to the next round. So I'm not too worried about. I'm not even worried about their form. So I think they'll be up for it and they'll be ready. But I think we will get through because club's history in the Champions League and how we deal with teams in the round. And the '07 when we went to the round of 16 first time, I mean Porto had a very better record being undefeated at home, and we just absolutely put five past them and just did nothing after that in the home leg. I'm not worried about them at all. I'm not too concerned to anything to worry about it. We'll see on the 18th when we meet Atletico at their home. And the good thing is we going where we won the sixth Champions League title. So it's we're going back home basically.
Right. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, man. So
Yeah,
I go ahead. Go ahead.
I just wanted to add the only way to hope to beat Liverpool is the first leg away. Man, you have to beat us, and you have to beat us heavily.
Yeah.
And even so, Barcelona beat us heavily and we battered them in the second leg.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, man, I'm excited about it. Just made this good form, this good winning continue. We still haven't even really unleashed Minamino, and that might not even happen this season as far as seeing what he really can bring. But it's good to have him see him on the bench. Naby obviously coming back, so just much
Yeah,
more excitement to come. Good.
got that Shrewsbury game now midweek, don't we?
Say again.
Got that Shrewsbury game in midweek, don't we?
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. Yeah. So was that
Yeah,
Tuesday?
yeah, the kids Tuesday.
I mean, I still think we'll actually win that game. You know what I mean? I actually think we'll win the game. I mean, we're going to field out a team. I was just looking through players I think would field with that we could field out. I think it'd be like in goal, Kelleher. I think right back would probably be However, however you want to say his name. Centre back. I mean, did you see? I don't know if you saw. Did you see his Instagram account? He got hacked by some. I
Oh
don't know.
no.
Omen guy by some Omen
Yeah.
Wow.
So I think he'll probably be a right back. Centre back, I think probably go Vandenberg and what's his name? Who is that? Who's the other centre back? I forgot. Can't remember now.
Vandenberg.
No,
Vandenberg.
no, yeah, Vandenberg and someone else. Who was the other guy that I said we were gonna put in?
Kai Hoover.
Oh no, yeah, that's the one. Yeah, whoever. Yeah, centre back, and then Williams a right back, wasn't it? Sorry, yeah. The one that Williams a right back.
I think Adam Lewis will be the left back because Larouche got injured.
Is Larouche injured? All right, so
Yeah.
he'll be there. In midfield, I think we'll probably have someone like Chiravella, and I think there's someone called I think is it called Hill, Thomas Hill, or someone like that. And then with Curtis Jones, and then I think it's like an Elliot, because we signed someone from Bristol City, an under-23 player called Hardy. So we'll have him in there, and I think we've got likes of Elijah Dixon-Bonner and stuff. So I still think we'll probably beat Shrewsbury. I think it's at Anfield. I think we'll probably beat Shrewsbury even with that team. You know what I mean? And But even so, look again. We go up against Chelsea away in FA Cup if we beat them. Do you know what I mean? We got Chelsea away in FA Cup. I mean, we never get like a completely easy run. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? City get Sheffield Wednesday away, and there's so many shit teams crashing against each other, like West Brom and I don't know who West Brom get Derby or something like that. You know what I mean? There's so many shit teams crashing up against each other, but there's always got to be one game for the television, hasn't it? So, and it's always us
yeah,
that ends up getting it. So, well, listen, as I said, if we win it, I think we will win it, and I want to win the game. So, I'm hoping that we can get the 3 points, get into the next round.
yeah. I think we'll be good, man. And yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if we got past them. I mean, it really wouldn't.
It's not even on TV, mate. Like Klopp's not even turning up.
Yeah,
It'll be funny if we did get past them.
Is
All the people were
there even any
shitting on.
cameras on to stream the match? It's not on TV. I mean, even the TV men can't even bother to fucking get up there and
Because they were waiting for Klopp to show up, and the Klopp said,
Klopp not gonna be there. Klopp's gonna be at home.
Klopp gave him the middle finger, so they are kind of pissed off. Even TV won't show up.
Boy, though, why would Klopp be there if the kids are gonna be there? The kids, right? They want their coach, and I like that. I don't think Klopp is that he can't be asked to turn up. I think he's happy to turn up and watch the match. But those kids normally work with Klopp week in week out, and I don't see a problem with the manager Neil Critchley going there and being with them. You know what I mean? And listen, I'm completely fine with this stance. As I said, if you go through, go for it. As I said, listen, we've got bigger fish to fry. We've got a Premier League title to win. Well, we've already won that, but we've got a Champions League. We've got a 7th Champions League title to win. Listen, as I said, we'll go into it. And I think as I said, we've got bigger fish to fry, bigger games to play. And I still think, I mean, we're acting like we're gonna get knocked out. Like Shrewsbury, come on. Do you know what I mean? These kids are probably they're better than them talent wise. Do you know what I mean? So we just play. I think in the game away, we played quite a few too many players coming back from injury, like Lover and Matip. They just weren't up to speed. Other players well that coming back from injury, they're just really rusty. But I do think that we'll win. I do think we'll win on Tuesday, and I hope we do.
yeah. I don't have too much concern
I
with
have
that.
I have also that feeling we might win, but I wouldn't. If we don't win, I'm not even too concerned about it.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat there. I mean,
Yeah,
obviously, I want to win it, but if not,
yeah, your mindset now isn't it? It's like if we don't win, you're not gonna be mad and angry about it. You know what I mean? It's the kids playing, so but I do think we'll win the game.
yeah. On that note, guys, man, thank you guys for making time. Appreciate it. Salim, I'm glad you were able to come on, and look
Oh, no
forward
problem.
to getting back in touch with you guys when the games start back up.
All right, enjoy the
Okay,
break, man. Guys, enjoy.
okay, man.
See you guys.